Dear organized religion, we weren't prepared for the world. Coming up next on Pastor Bob's Coffee Break. Onward, Christian soldiers. I know I say this every time, but it's one of my favorite mugs. Probably all my favorites. Love this one. Isn't that awesome? Onward, Christian soldiers. And folks, again, drinking a little Headbangers brew in there. And this is our winter blend called Brewed Awakening. And it's for the winter time, and it is winter. Cold outside today. We have a lot of other blends, everything from 5-pound to K-cups to regular bags. And our melodic and our hardcore are both available too in whole bean. So lots of good stuff. All of our mugs, our posters, our t-shirts. WeAreMetalWeAreFamily.com. Dear organized religion, you sheltered us from the very world Jesus commands his followers to go out into. By separating us completely while growing up, you didn't equip us for the future. Many of us were sent to woke universities where we lost our faith altogether. Well, it's a bit of a sticky situation, isn't it? How much do we get involved in the world, and how much do we stay away from it? Jesus told us to go into the world, and let's just start there, shall we, today? Matthew chapter 28, starting with verse 19. And he says, "Go therefore and make disciples of all nations." Some translations say, "Go into the world and teach the gospel." But go therefore and make disciples of all nations. Help the people to learn of me, to believe in me, to obey my words, baptizing them in the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit, teaching them to observe everything that I've commanded you. It's all written down right here. And lo, I am with you always, remaining with you perpetually, regardless of circumstances, and on every occasion, even to the end of the age. Well, that's the exciting part, isn't it? Jesus told us to go, and he said, I'll be with you when you do. Now, that takes some maturity, yes. Do we just go into the world and encounter all kinds of things and think we're strong enough for everything? No. But there's an extreme on both ends here that we have to be so careful about. And it seems like people are engaging either too much or too little. We have to have a foundation for engaging, but we have to look at the intent and the intensity of that engagement itself. So, going into all the world, this is an interesting statement here. You sheltered us from the very world that Jesus commands his followers to go into. And many times that's the case. And I see people growing up and not being equipped to deal with things in the world. Now, I am a huge proponent of the homeschooling movement. I think it's awesome. But I see some difficulties too. If you continue to take kids, and I know families that have also made sure that their kids were not exposed to television or internet or anything else, I know. And so completely pulling them away from everything, you don't equip them. On the other hand, some kids get so entrenched in the world that it seems like what they're being taught is the world instead of at home. They spend very little time with their parents, which is typical of a lot of kids these days. So there's a balance here. And then it says, by separating us completely while growing up, you didn't equip us for our future. Homeschooling is great, but make sure that there's some kind of interaction going on with the world around. Very important. Many of us were sent to woke universities where we lost our faith altogether. There's a big deal. And it's important, folks, that we understand that not every university is going to be a good thing for us. And what is it worth to get a degree and to lose your faith? Just saying. That's a whole different podcast. We'll cover that one of these times. And I would love to talk about it because I'm concerned for our university system. I'm concerned for our educational system. And we'll talk more about it. But anyway, folks, prepared for the world. It is so important that we continue to interact and be a light in the world. To do that, we have to have a foundation in our own faith to be that light. Make sure that both things are there before you go. Folks, don't forget, you are blessed. Go and be a blessing.